If you are a real estate agent and you are posting on Instagram consistently, but you're getting no engagement and you're getting no leads, it's probably because you're just not doing what works today, which is why I brought on Jimmy Conover, an Instagram marketing coach, guru, probably don't like that word, for agents, who literally teaches agents how to convert content into followers and followers into clients. And today we're going to dissect the perfect Instagram strategy for agents and cover all things from what to have in your Instagram bio, what to post in your Instagram feed, your stories, and then how to actually convert those followers into appointments. And if you like the sound of that, please make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel, because it is by far the best way to support this free content and to make sure that this pops up in your feed every single week. This is the Show Me How series on the Broke Agent channel. All right, Jimmy, let's get into the actual posting strategy. So I'm an agent. I now have my bio optimized. I've been posting for 5 years. I'm not getting any leads. I'm getting mediocre engagement. I'm kind of trend jacking, doing stupid skits at conferences with people. I'm blind ranking lead gen sources for some reason, or ranking real estate influencers, thinking that this is somehow going to get me leads. What should I actually do to get leads on Instagram? What's the posting strategy?
Yeah, quick story behind this real quick is that before I even got my real estate license, I studied what other agents were doing and just what other accounts were doing in general. And what I noticed in my specific local area is that we got a lot of local influencers. Instagram and being an influencer is big in my area. We have one person in particular. Her name is Hello Meridian. Hello Meridian has like 100,000 followers. Every post she makes gets 20, 50, 100,000 views. Her business model is brand deals, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have the audience, you pay me, I talk about your thing in front of my audience, and there you go. You got exposure for your thing, your restaurant, whatever it may be. And I had the idea or the thought of like, if she just talked about houses, she would probably get a lot of attention about it because she already has the audience, she already has the attention. So that automatically creates that local bucket, right? That you all know and love. From there, most real estate agents are mainly going to just talk about houses, so home tours. Like when you look at most agents, most of them are just doing home tours, like the ones that are successful, like out there.
Yep.
And then coming into it with my own, I was coming into this with no deals, no nothing. How am I actually even going to do this? Now, obviously, I could just show homes and I could show local, but the other thing, the reality is that Instagram's all about connection and relatability, right? Like people aren't on social media. Most people aren't searching for much, right? It's not really a search platform. They're using it to pass the time. They're using it because they're bored with whatever they're doing and they don't like sitting in silence. And so they start scrolling. And so with that in mind, we know that we're just trying to find a tribe, right? We're just trying to find people where we see like the posts we stop on, we feel like it's for us. We want to find a connection with people. And so my story is what creates the connection with my viewers, right? The fact that we're in the same season of life, or that we hate the same things or dislike to the same things. We both lived in Arizona, or we both dream of living in a family-friendly community, or wanting to give our kids a more active, adventurous lifestyle. And so that's what kind of created the 3-pillar approach to what I talk about, which is I got to talk about local. I got to obviously show homes. And then I tell my story, which I call connection content, because I do it to create a connection. And so that's kind of the starting point from there of how I understand and what I'm going to post about.
So very important point that you made, and I've made this before, that when you go on Instagram, no one is very, very, very few people are looking to see a home when they are scrolling Instagram. Very few people are looking to see an education piece that a real estate agent is posting about the housing market, about inventory levels, or numbers that make no sense to these people. It doesn't mean that this content is not something that you should ever post, but just like you said, you are scrolling to pass the time. You are scrolling to find something funny, some relation with someone. So I love the way you frame that up, because that's those connectivity levels of, hey, I'm at the same point of life as this person. I think like this person. This person has a dog. I have a dog. This person probably understands what houses I might want because they have a dog, and they probably go to similar situations as me, right? They know what sort of backyard I'd want. So those little connectivity pieces. So you said 3 pillars, which are, what were they? They were house tours?
Local. House tours,
local.
Yeah. Local. Yeah.
Local, house tours, and then connectivity content.
Connection, yeah.
Okay, so what's an
storytelling content.
example of the storytelling content?
You want to look through some, or is that an option?
It is an option, yeah. I mean, you can share your screen or you could just talk about it. Up to you.
Yeah, let's share the screen. I think that'd be
Okay.
helpful. What we're looking at here is my Instagram account. Right now, I actually have it sorted from most viewed to least viewed. That way, you can actually see what is the content that gets the most reach. What's the visual hook? What is the hook in the first place? What bucket does it fit under? That sort of thing. And so when we look at this first one, and an easier way to understand how I classify.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Let's stop sharing.
Or is this just how it looks like? Like, yeah, this looks insane. Do you have some sort of like
Yeah, I got to
app
play.
you have something connected to this?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Do you think that's just what it is, Haley? Because I see it.
So you're not getting.
Uh,
I'm also screen recording my screen right now, so I can send you the file in a G drive. Cool, cool. We'll just
all
start
right.
back at the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
So what we're looking at here is my Instagram account as a realtor, and I actually have it sorted from most viewed to least viewed so that we can get a good sense of number one, what is the content, which ones are the top viewed, what are their hooks, what are the visual hooks, what sort of buckets they fall into, and to give you an idea of a way that I simply classify like what is a connection, what is local, what is real estate, I put it by the CTA. And if my CTA is a comment for the guide, that's what I would call connection. I just kind of throw it all in there. If the
Mm-hmm.
CTA is to comment for the home details, the listing details, or the group, maybe it's a list of homes because I'm doing an entire community, that's going to fall into real estate. And then if it's local, obviously I could have a CTA to be like, hey, comment for the website. But more times than not, I just don't even say comment for anything. If I want to
Mm-hmm.
create engagement just because of the way the algorithm works and that whole sort of thing, then I'm open to that. But it really doesn't matter at that point. But if we were to look at, so your original question was, well, what is connection? Well, let's take a look at this one. So this one says, POV, you just landed in Boise and are driving downtown with no traffic or homeless camps. This is what I would consider connection because it talks about my story. It talks about where we came from. It talks about what we were looking for. So I'm big into storytelling. I mean, in content, they literally tell you that whenever you're filming a business, we got to pull their story out of them. We got to make their brand story video. And so it's all about story. And so when I came into this, it was all about how many times and in how many ways can I tell my story?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what
Yep.
this falls under.
So this is a POV, and this has 104,000 likes.
The first time, yeah.
My God. First time meaning you've posted this again.
Right. And I've
Yes.
heard you say before, repost your best shit, right? Excuse
Yep.
me.
Yes.
And so obviously what does well once is probably going to do well again. So yeah, definitely.
Yep. Okay, play this.
Sure. And that's all it is. A nice one clip reel.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Okay, yeah, and this has like 4 million views or something like that, which is crazy. Another note on reposting content, which I mentioned last episode, but if you don't want to upload the same exact thing, you could flip the camera so it's reversed. You can zoom in 5%. You could zoom out 5%. You could obviously frame a different hook or CTA at the end, so that way the video is not like completely the same. So the algorithm thinks it's slightly different. Little hack right there.
There you go.
A little hack right there from a hack himself. Okay, so this is connectivity content. Do you do
Right.
any, or do you recommend that your clients do any storytelling where they're actually talking? Like this is POV style, but give me an example of like a connectivity, whether you show it or just mention it, of this is a connection piece of content.
Is the question based on talking or is it based on just different types of buckets?
Based off of talking, I guess if I am an agent in Tucson and I want to create a connection content piece, but
Yeah.
I'm not doing a POV style with like B roll. is there a certain story I should tell? Is there a certain angle you kind of direct people to, or is that kind of on the agent to figure that out?
Well, let's keep working through this, and
Okay.
maybe it might be revealed. But I do have
Okay.
an opinion based on talking. I would
Okay.
love to get into that as well.
Okay.
But if we look at the very next one, right?
Hmm.
This very next one. So you know how we talked about the three pillar approach to content? Well, then there's another three pillars that we need to understand, in my opinion, which is going to be the three formats that I recommend. And the easiest way
Hmm.
to understand the three formats is going to be short, medium, long. Short is one clip, medium's going to be multi-clip, and then long, yes, is talking.
Hmm. Okay.
And so those are really the only three formats that I actually recommend even doing. So if we were to look at this is one of my favorite videos I've ever created. It's created probably the most know, like, and trust. It's this type
Hmm.
of content that really brings in the inbound DMs. Like, we all want inbound DMs, but you're not going to get them just by staying consistent. The only way you're getting inbound, okay, maybe I'm overstepping by saying the only way and making an absolute, but the easiest way to get inbound DMs is for you to communicate that you understand where people are and you understand where they want to go, and you've either gone on the journey yourself, but really it comes down to messaging.
Hmm.
This is how you end up getting DMs like I've received, where it's like, your posts speak to my soul. In order to speak to their soul, you have to understand where they're coming from, so therefore you have to be talking to them if you haven't lived the experience already yourself. So let's go ahead and take a look.
There is a house built out of stone, wooden floors, walls, and window sills, tables and chairs warmed by all of the dust.
Yeah. So just pause right here. I just want the audience. So there's a text hook. It says, "My wife." If you're listening on Spotify, head over to YouTube. "My wife told me she wanted to leave Arizona for good to raise our family on Idaho. Where dot dot dot." So it leads you into the next clip. It's a picture of your kid looking out the window on an airplane. So it's like, this is you actively moving to Idaho, whether that's actually footage of that
Mhm.
or not. It
Right.
still is portraying that. And
Yep.
then it's the multiple clips about how beautiful Idaho is. But the connectivity level that you're probably talking about here, that doesn't even have to be said verbally, is a kid, right? So relatability in the sense that you're building a family, wife, moving from Arizona to Idaho. I'm sure there's a lot of people moving into Boise, right, or
Mhm.
moving into Idaho that are doing it because of the nature, because of how beautiful it is, because of the weather, all of that. So you're kind of hitting all these different levels of um, connectivity right there, which is really good.
Yep. So what we tend to see is that, when I work with people, the very first thing we'll do is I'll create their first 5 posts with them. And the easiest ones to do are connection. And usually it's pulling from your story. Because if I have to be like, hey, go find a house, now go out of your house and actually film it. And like, that's going to take too long. We need to make
Hmm.
sure you get the result as fast as possible. So we create these types of videos that pull from their story. So we dive deep into their story. But what they tend to say is like, I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over and over.
Hmm.
And if you follow Alex Hermosi, then you will know that he says that you will get tired of your own message before anyone else even hears it. And
Hmm.
so you have to get used to saying the same thing in different packaging.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to get beyond, especially even on this channel. I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
It's really it, but that's 100% true. Like, go watch Gary Vee. He says the same thing over and over and over again. I've seen a million of his keynotes. A lot of them, 90% of it is kind of the same content. So basically, if you're an agent, you think of your story and you think of like why you live in Tucson, right? Or I've lived in Tucson for 18 years. Here's what I love most about summer nights, right? Like, something along those lines. Would that be a connectivity piece where it's
Yeah.
like
Here,
your specific story?
I can show you multiple different examples of what I would consider to
Hmm.
be a connection based hook. Or
Okay.
a connection based piece. Now, this one's obvious because I'm talking about, hey, I moved from here to here. That's a very obvious connection, kind of like this one. 5 things my wife and I stopped worrying about since moving to Boise from Phoenix, and it's all about pain points, stepping on
Hmm.
scorpions. And here's something I want your audience to take away is that too many people are using AI. Too many people are staying so vague in what they are saying that nobody actually relates to vague. People relate to specific. And so you want to be able to get specific with what it is that you talk about as often as possible. So like in this example, I could say stepping on scorpions, or like, oh, it's hot. Like that's too vague. And so you need to get more specific. So I said here, if you know, you know. This is a true story that almost happened to my wife multiple times inside our Mesa home. And we knew once we had kids, we had to get out of there. So thankful Idaho doesn't have scorpions. So that's just a little tip out there.
Yeah, that's really good. Play this video.
Sure. This is the under the single clip category.
Oh, got it. So the caption has all the
Yes,
things that you're stopping.
I preach hard into 2,000 to 2,200 character captions written
Got it.
by yourself.
Yeah, and this has 6,000 plus likes, by the way. So, and this is a simple 5-second reel, 5 things my wife and I stopped worrying about since moving to Boise from Phoenix. Are there a ton of people that commute from Arizona to, not commute, but that move from?
No.
Okay. But it's just basically just calling out the pain point of a specific area, and Boise doesn't have these problems.
Correct.
Okay, got it. This is very simple, folks. Like this is not even, you don't even have to talk. Like,
oh, no.
And by the way, B-roll content is absolutely crushing right now, where it's just text on a 10 or 15 second clip.
Right. So another thing that would be talked about in terms of connection would be something like this: what the internet doesn't tell you. I mean, in the end, all hooks are basically the same. What the internet doesn't tell you, what they're not, what you don't realize until 6 months after you unpack. The number one thing you're not realizing, like they're all based on the same framework, just reworded in a different way. But this is what I would consider connection content, which we're basically talking about something because we've lived the experience of living in our area. So what the internet doesn't tell you is an example. Here would be another one. Okay, you can't see it. I don't know why Instagram does this.
Yeah, I could see it. It said the number one. It said the number one thing.
No one.
Pull it back up again.
It goes to the black screen. I'm not sure why it does it. But it says the number one thing no one's telling you about moving to Boise, Idaho. And it's me driving through a very active fire scene, like super thick smoke, if you can't see it. And the reality is that when I talk to people, they would ask me multiple times, hey, how bad is fire season? Like, is it really bad? Or like, what do I need to expect? And so that's where I made that post. And in this post, I like with all your posts, there's always a contrarian, right? There's always a yin and a yang. So yes, there are fires here, but it's not like I'm afraid my house is going to burn down. And the reality is that everywhere has something bad about it. And so that's kind of the angle I played. Like we have fires, California might have earthquakes, Florida has heat, humidity, like, pick your heart.
Would you recommend that real estate agents, because you have all this B-roll footage, like are you actively thinking of the video idea and then taking the B-roll, or is this just a bunch of stuff that you have on your camera because you have trained your brain and trained that muscle to start taking that content?
You are bringing up a very good point. One of the first videos I have people go through is called Your New Identity. And what I've always said is that creating content, marketing on Instagram is incredibly simple. It comes down to this: know who you're talking to and the life they want to live, show them the life they want to live, and reach out to them. That's it. The hard part comes into play is when you don't identify as someone that wants to create content. It's a red flag to me anytime I'm talking to someone that wants help growing on Instagram and they say things like, it's the bane of my existence. I wouldn't be on social media if it wasn't for real estate. Or they hint at they don't even want to do this in the first place. Well, then you're going to be fighting an uphill battle because everything I tell you to do, you're going to say, this goes against my identity. And your brain's automatically going to tell you, I don't want to do this. This is unsafe. Basically.
Yeah. So you have to rewire and say, hey, I also am a content creator.
So instead of saying I'm a real estate agent that has to market their business with content, you say that I'm a content creator that just happens to sell real estate. Right? Think of Orlando Real. What's the guy's name again?
Ken Pozak, the GO.A.T.
Think of Ken Pozak. That guy has built, a media business, and it just happens to sell real estate.
Yep.
Right? He monetizes it on the back end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's basically a content company, media company that has houses every now and then in his content. Ken sells hundreds of millions of dollars worth of real estate, by the way.
Of
He's
course.
the absolute GOAT. Okay, I love this. So this is content that everybody watching this can create. So start taking B-roll footage of stuff that you are actively doing. If you are sitting in, it's a summer, you're on the lake and at Lake Michigan, I don't know, wherever the hell you live, take some 5-second clips, some 10-second clips, so that you could start putting text on these and saying like, POV, you moved to Michigan in the summer, and it like showing this, right? Is that what you recommend doing?
One of my favorite quotes from Hermosi is, if what you have to talk about is not good enough, like you haven't done enough, then stop talking about it, go back and do epic shit, and then go to talking about it. It's much easier to get attention with something that is epic than with not. And so basically, the three things that I say is do epic shit, document it, and reach out. That's it. And
Yeah.
obviously, that is a lot to ask for a lot of people, but it does require an identity. I think one of my kind of secrets to what I do is that I want to have fun. I want to go do all the fun shit. And so it becomes really easy to get attention when you're doing everything that is fun, because
Yeah,
that's what they want to
visually.
do too.
Yeah, visually it also just looks so much better. Like if you're just documenting like going for a walk in your neighborhood, that's
Right.
not going to scratch that soul itch that you were talking about, as opposed to having this beautiful lakeside view where you have a fire and you're handing your wife a cocktail, just like that video you just had. Like that setup is the reason why that video performs so well. It's the text plus the actual visual.
Which leads us into something that does fall under the connection category, but it's not necessarily like here's 5 things you need to know or 5 things I didn't know or anything like that. It's more just, highlighting the lifestyle. Think of like the Visit Tucson account. Their whole job is to create hype and desire to come to their area. Well, that's kind of the content. That's actually my bread and butter. That's what I like creating the most. It tends to get me the most sort of reach. It's kind of like this.
It said Idaho inspired me to like relive 90s Sandlot style. What was the
So,
hook?
yeah, Idaho single-handedly restored my faith in a 90s Sandlot style summer. And it's literally just I grew up skateboarding and I loved watching skate videos, which is skate videos are literally just a collection of skate clips throughout an entire year, and they make a skate video out of it. That's all this is. It's a collection of clips during fun times, and we put it together with a fun song. We put a hook on it that references the olden days that we all are reminiscent about these days, and people like it.
Also, this is going to hit that specific millennial demographic. So if you are working with more millennial clients, buyers, and sellers, saying something Sandlot 90s style, the algorithm's immediately going to feed that to someone that's like similar to our age.
So that kind of like, that's basically the connection bucket. I either call it connection, to me is like number of things, or check out how sick it is where I live. That's basically it.
If you're looking to stand out from the crowd, Reminder Media is a resource you have to check out. You get your own branded print and digital magazines, email newsletters, and social media content. Reminder delivers these resources to your contacts on autopilot, keeping you top of mind with your database. All you got to do is focus on your follow-up calls and watch referrals and repeat business flow in. By the way, we are throwing BAM Camp September 22nd, 23rd for team leaders with Reminder Media. Link down below in the description. Grab your tickets now. Early bird pricing. Get it. That's connectivity content. Let's get into home tour content. And you don't have to necessarily show examples of this, but is there something that you recommend agents do in their home tours to differentiate their content? Is it always to have some call to action, some mini chat, comment the word home for details? Is it these new superhero style videos that you see where someone like spawns in the ground and text is popping up everywhere? Or is it just more of a traditional like front facing camera listing video, or does it matter?
Totally.
Okay.
All great questions.
Yeah.
I'll start with I don't think you need a videographer. I am a videographer. You don't need me. You don't need anybody else. You should be doing this yourself. And that's actually more relatable, because the UGC side of things is way more relatable than if your husband can't afford this house, then you need a new husband. or
Yeah.
whatever it is that
Yeah.
we are seeing these days.
That content is, I, it's so cringe, honestly, because it's just so like clickbaity and cheap shares that I don't really know what that accomplishes besides getting kind of likes from other real estate agents.
Yeah,
Right? Because it's just kind of like, oh, that's a cool marketing angle. And then you see 10 other real estate agents posting the same exact thing.
yeah.
Like, does that
So
actually sell the house or does that just make you feel like crap? If your husband can't afford this, get a new husband. It's like, okay, great. Thank you. It's ridiculous.
It's hilarious. Um, so when it comes to home tours, for the longest time, I was doing what everyone else does, right? You go to a home, you make a video, you post the video. You go to another home, you make a video, one video, of course, and then
Mhm.
you post it. And then, yes, I think ManyChat is, I think, well, we don't need to talk about it or open that one up. But yeah, I like using ManyChat. I like using comment this word. I'm a fan of that,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
However, once I found Robert Cedeno, and if you don't follow Robert Cedeno, you got to follow him. He's a real estate agent. He's a coach. He teaches what he does. He runs a team. They sell a lot of homes from Instagram specifically. I saw him and he basically broke down that he goes to one home and yes, he does have some sort of team helping him, but he's able to go to one home and get 10 to 15 videos out of one home, where most agents are just wasting their an hour and a half to go get one video. In a world where my content cadence every week needs to be I'm posting one reel a day for 7 days, right? So every
Mhm.
day. And I can't post one reel a day every day if I'm getting one video from one house. That's a waste of my time. And so
Right.
seeing someone like Robert, and he's literally posting 3 to 5 times a day, that just opened my mind to like, okay, I need to be doing more and I need to figure this out. So I did a little studying and just kind of came up with different frameworks around, okay, so if I go in this home, what are the different, like at a bare minimum, we come up with 4 different types of home frameworks that we're going to use. So videos, if you will.
Mhm.
So
So what would, so if I want to create 10 videos from one home, is it, are these all B-roll videos? Are they me walking and talking? I guess it could be anything, right?
well, if we're posting every single day and we want to post, let's say 3 to 5 home type videos, comment this word for the listing. If I want to do that, I can't be writing a script for everyone. It's just
Mhm.
impossible. And I'm the one editing it and most
Yeah.
likely filming it. So I reserve talking videos for home tours like once or twice a month
Mhm.
because of
Some of
the
the
extra work.
Some of the best videos that I've seen, like Matt Leonetti does this too. Like he has obviously these amazing cinematic storytelling, but then he's breaking them down into POV. You're having your morning coffee here. And it's just kind of like the B roll. You could see yourself sitting on this ledge, looking out into the lake, having your morning coffee. Or this is where I want to wake up every single morning. And it's like them getting out of bed and then like walking straight to the breakfast nook or something along those lines. So it's really a connectivity piece in a listing about like what it feels like to actually live there, which is kind of hitting on that emotion style as well.
Totally. Yeah. Did you want to talk about what the 4 types are?
Yes.
Cool.
All right.
Um,
Are you challenging me? Yeah, I do.
no.
Like
Just seeing where
totally.
you want
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
with this.
Yeah. Let's briefly go over the 4 types
Yeah.
and then I want to talk about like story strategy.
Sure.
So actually, let's just get into story strategy. I think
All right, fair enough.
listing videos. What's the guy's name?
Robert Cedeno.
Robert Cedeno. Okay, so go check him
Yeah.
out. So let's connect all of this. So there's connectivity content, there's listing videos that you should be getting
Local.
10, 15 videos, and then there's your local
Well,
content, which is
let's take a step back real quick before you
okay.
do that. I've
Okay.
realized that overwhelm is a real thing, and if we
Hmm.
overwhelm people, and if I overwhelm people, then they just won't take any action, and they'll continue
Hmm.
doing whatever they're doing instead. So, at a bare minimum, start with one. Get one home
Hmm.
tour from one home. You master that, then we can evolve into getting 2 and 3 and 4. And these are going to be
Hmm.
4 different types. You're filming them in different ways, and then you use all those clips to make different types of videos.
Okay, yeah. So not 10 to 15 videos
That would
for
just
your
be way
listing
too overwhelming.
necessarily. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's insane. I just kind of threw that number out there. Okay, good point. Good point. Overwhelm, just like you don't want a stink tree with 15 different links in there. All right, so
exactly.
let's move on to the connection point of you have these 3 buckets of content. Now, how are you actually booking appointments for this? Does this come from Instagram story strategy? Is it people reaching out? Like a lot of people kind of miss the point of, all right, all this content's good. That video you did of moving to Idaho, it got 6 million views, but where
Mhm.
are the leads coming from? Where does that all take place? How?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So they're what I call the lead levers, where the
Okay.
lead levers are when you master your lead levers, just like at a casino, when you pull the right lever, all the money comes out. The same thing is true. When you master your lead levers, leads can flow every
Hmm.
day, every week. And that's how we end up creating. Now, for the record, everyone calls them leads. I call them lead opportunities. Just because someone commented for your guide doesn't make them a lead. It's a lead
Hmm.
opportunity. Let's see what we can do with this opportunity. So, the 5 lead levers that I teach are obviously going to be a guide, a listing, like a guide commenter, a listing commenter. I also call them hand raisers. So, guide
Hmm.
commenter, listing commenter, a new follower, a story poll answerer. So that could be a yes or a maybe to one specific question. And then obviously an inbound DM.
Hmm. Got it. Let's break each one of those down. So a
Sure.
guide commenter would be buyer's guide, seller's guide. I've heard Sharon talk about this, and I kind of agree that no one actually wants a first time buyer's guide.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've found that that is the case, but a lot of people don't want like a ton of information, a PDF. Is it more hyper local guides? Like I want a foodie's guide to Boise. I want a millennials guide to coffee shops in Boise, or what guide? Does anyone like these guides? Actually, seriously,
Uh,
I don't know.
yeah.
I'm not an agent, so like,
Yeah.
I don't think I would want one. If I'm scrolling
Mm-hmm.
Instagram and an agent says comment the word buyer's guide, I would say no thanks. I don't want to give my email and then get a 15-page buyer guide. I could just go on ChatGPT and look up how to do it.
Right.
What are your thoughts
Well,
on that?
every good lead magnet is a solution to a small problem that introduces a bigger problem. So if I give you a fall guide that solves your small problem of not knowing where to go for fall activities, what is the bigger problem that is then introduced that I can help with?
Hmm.
Is there
Oh,
one?
you're asking me? Yes. Yeah, I mean, sure.
What?
Yeah, there's another season that I don't know about. There's the home buying process. There's
Okay.
right. I
So, and
mean, where are you going with that?
yeah, sure. I have the stance where the only guides that you actually need are going to be area guides. One of the biggest concerns, once you start talking to people, especially people from out of the area, is going to be, I don't know where to live. I need clarity. I'm afraid of having to sell my home in 2 years. That's why I need to rent first, because I don't know where to live. And so that is the biggest problem that we can solve, not only with our content, but with our guide as well. I am a
Hmm.
big no go on wasting your time on a fall guide, a spring guide, a summer guide, a coffee guide, all these guides that don't actually lead us anywhere. Because I can't say, hey, thanks for downloading my coffee guide. Are you interested in buying a home? Like that kind of doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Also, just look it up. Like, why the hell would I have to put in my email to have some real estate agent send me the 15 best coffee shops in Idaho when I could just go look up the 15 best coffee shops in Idaho,
Yeah, so
right?
I
So I
preach just a suburb or neighborhood guide.
got it.
The other
That's
one
good.
that I am a fan of is going to be like a new build guide. So the
Hmm.
custom route, which is a very interesting topic, I wouldn't mind kind of evolving with at some point, but
Hmm.
like the custom home, how to build, because that's a really scary situation as well.
Hmm. Yes. Okay. So so it's a area guide. So for LA, this would be perfect because if I'm moving to LA, I want to know about each neighborhood, each area. In that guide, is it like, West Hollywood, here's the average price per square foot, and here are the things to do. Is it more like here's the lifestyle in each area plus
Yeah.
home prices, or what's in it?
So here's what I did. I downloaded
Mhm.
before I even ever created my guide. I downloaded like 15 agents guides to see like what the hell do you guys have in yours. Then
Right.
from there, I had some conversations with people and I basically combined everything into what I thought was going to be the ultimate guide, if you will. The ultimate guide to the thing nobody cares about.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
A guide that takes so much to create that nobody downloads and nobody reads. But yeah, I like the area
uh,
route, by the way. This is good.
Right. And so when it comes to the area, so I keep my guide extremely simple. I think people take it way too over the top. They got this 50-page guide that nobody gives a shit about.
Hmm.
And it, just like you said, it's got coffee shops, it's got all this surface level information that nobody actually cares about. Remember, it's a solution to a small problem. And so we just need to give them the information they have with this small problem. So when it comes to, so like mine's a relocation guide, and it's my guide to Boise's most popular suburbs. And from
Hmm.
there, we keep it very simple. We basically have a few pages that are like the intro. Then you go into a one pager of each suburb, and then you end it with next steps, CTA, authority, testimonials type thing, and that's it. We don't need all
Yeah.
this other information. And then within each suburb, make sure you give them the information they actually want. And so what I've identified as important information for also myself, as well as communicating with people, is going to be median price point, obviously, median age, because I want to live around people my own age, median income, because I'm not going to say it, but I want to live around people with the same income level or similar or more. Distance to something I care about. Maybe that's work. Maybe that's the airport. Like, what is it that people care about from a distance? And then public school rating as rated by somebody else that isn't your own opinion, and you have it in the references. Always got to say that.
Yeah. Love that. Do you ever have anything like perspective wise in there too of like, here's my take on these neighborhoods? I feel like having your opinion on stuff too, since information is now so commoditized, I feel like anytime you could put your opinion, whether it's on a piece of content, in a guide, in a blog, something like that, that's kind of that extra sauce now that people care about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a good opportunity for that there.
Yeah. And then how do you plug the guides? Is it with Instagram story, DM me the word guide if you want my area guide, or is it a video, that mini chat? Like what's the move there to get these leads?
Yeah. So I preach mainly just at the bottom of your caption. Obviously you could, talk about it in your story as well. A very common way would be like, hey, we got a lot of new followers lately. And if you're thinking about moving to the area, not sure where to live, I got a guide. Click this link. Something as simple
Yeah.
as that.
That's good. I like that. Hey, we got a lot of new followers lately. It makes like your page look like it's blowing up. It kind of gives people FOMO.
Yeah.
Something I did, which I've done a bunch on my Instagram story, is if I am plugging like my email newsletter or something, I will do a create mode. Do you follow the Broke Agent on Instagram?
Yeah.
So I do something where I'll put in orange text. It'll just say the word read. And then I go create mode and I say every Tuesday I send one marketing email, just one strategy that's actually working right now. Tomorrow's email is the exact Instagram comment automation tweak that doubled our conversions. I'm not posting it anywhere else. If you want to reply or DM the word yes, and I'll make sure it lands in your inbox tomorrow. 500 DMs from that. So 500 new email subscribers. That creates FOMO. It's a proof piece of, hey, this gets a 55% open rate. I massage that a little bit. Really, it's like a 51% open rate, but 55 sound a little bit better. And then I gave a scarcity. No, what's the word? Like where you have a CTA where like the time limits about to end.
Urgency.
Urgency. Thank you. So I'm sending this out tomorrow morning. If you want it today, you have to DM me this word right now. So I hit like 3 different components there. So you could do that with your guides, right? Like you could say, read this. If you are looking to move to Boise, Idaho, I have a guide that breaks down the exact neighborhoods, price per square foot, all this stuff. If you're interested in this at all, DM me the word guide. Yeah. Right. Yeah. All right, good. So a little combo there. Okay. So those are the guides. And then the other 4, you said there was like 4 ways to get leads.
Well, let's put it this way, is that regardless of how people come into your funnel, so if you build your brand in the right way, your new followers are leads. Obviously, if you're posting about the right houses, the listing comments are leads. Your guide is the lead. So those are going to be your main 3 that are your obvious hand raisers, if you will. Now, just because they commented doesn't make them an actual lead or make them even want to work with you in the first place. So what I actually teach is that what we're doing on Instagram is like hosting an open house, right? Number 1, you wouldn't go sit an open house, a house that you don't want to actually even sell more of, right? Right? You wouldn't go to a $200,000 house because no one's going to show up. So that's first step number 1 is if you're going to show a home, you might as well show a home that people actually want. If you're going to go sit in an open house for 4 hours, you might as well go sit in an open house in a neighborhood that's desirable, you think is going to get a lot of people in the door. Right. Right. So you're also not going to let people walk in the door, tour the house, and then just leave without trying to talk to them. Right. Right. Well, that's happening every single day on our social media. We're creating content. We're showing homes. We're asking people to comment for our guide. They comment for our guide. They come into the home. They tour it. And we're like, peace. Thanks for coming. Instead, why aren't we trying to actually engage with them and create a conversation? And so that's where having an actual DM strategy comes into play.
So you said, I think you mentioned this at the beginning of this segment of when you get a new follower, that's a lead. Do you have a DM mini chat set up for every new follower, or do you recommend agents have this? So I followed you. Everything manual. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because it's personalized. Because you can't
Right.
personalize in ManyChat.
Right.
So
Okay. So I
it's
follow
extremely
you.
simple. Yeah.
I follow you from one of those videos. What do you say
Yeah.
to me?
Hey, Eric,
What
thanks for
up?
the follow. Excited to connect. Are you here for the content or are you thinking about moving to Boise?
Got it. Okay.
80% of people aren't going to respond.
Right.
20% are probably going to say they're here for the content.
Mm-hmm.
And great. I only talk about real estate and moving here. Where are you considering
Mm-hmm.
moving from? Because
Mm-hmm.
the whole point of that first conversation or the first message is just to get them to talk, just to get them to respond. As soon as they respond, now I go into my qualify. Now I'm going to qualify you just like I would if I'm at an open house.
Right. And then do you ever like say the conversation, it's like, great, I'm here for the content. Awesome. Talk to you later, whatever. Like, do you then go back to that person maybe a few weeks later and say something else to them?
Can
Like,
I
do you
break down?
categorize them?
Yeah, let me break it down the entire strategy. Does
Okay.
that sound good?
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Hey, if
Okay.
you, by the way, if you are enjoying this video, like it. I need to get better at my calls to action here. Do you have a calls to action strategy here? We are giving so much value on this page. This is free. This should be behind 15 different paywalls right now because we're literally giving you the blueprint on how to get leads on Instagram. So if you're enjoying this content and you have made it this far, which I'm sure you have, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. I need this, Jimmy, to get to 150 likes. If this doesn't get to 150, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be bad.
Might not post next week.
Yeah, exactly. So that's on all of you guys. All right. So break down the system.
Okay, so this is basically it. Anytime, every single day, someone follows you, they comment for your guide, they comment for your listing. On that day, you need to reach out to those people, right? Now we go on to the next day. The next day, we're looking at what should I be doing? Obviously, you're going to reach out to all those people that like the new set of people in the next day.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody that responded and you're in an active conversation, obviously you got to keep the conversation going. And then if anybody didn't respond to them, then you send one follow-up message. It could be a this or that. So if you said, are you here for the content? Or are you thinking about moving? Then you can say, are you local or just interested in the area? Something like that. You can go with a different this or that. But I run by the rule of one follow-up. One follow-up, next day you move on. So if you're running the system where it's like every day I reach out to new people, every day I keep the conversations going, every day I reach out to the people that ghosted me. They could have ghosted me and never responded on the first level, or they could have ghosted me mid-convo. Maybe they just fell off or whatever. I follow up with those people one time and I keep moving on. Because if you know how to get, because really this is like a three-headed monster to getting leads on Instagram. It's, I need to know how to get attention. I need to have a DM strategy that books people. And then I got to have a consult strategy ultimately, right? To get agreements signed. And that's basically it. But most people just have barely a content. They don't even have a reach strategy. They just post videos.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the connection that we've even taught on this channel or the walkthrough has been at least get the email, get the guide. But this is the extra step of, okay, once they have the guide, once they have the email, once you have the email, you still communicate on Instagram in that platform. Like,
well, here's the secret. I don't even care if they download the guide.
Right. Of course. They're not going to read it anyway.
You're going to, you just raised your hand. You showed interest in what I have to offer. So, hey, I'm going to engage in a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like noticed you wanted to check out the relocation guide. Did you figure out which neighborhood you're interested in? Like,
no, this is what it is.
Say? Okay.
Yeah. It's basically like this. Hey, Susie, because you always want to personalize it. I saw you were interested in my guide to Boise's most popular suburbs. I wanted to reach out, introduce myself, and ask, how's your buying journey going? Yep, very simple. As soon as they respond, then we go into our qualify section. So there's this 3-step framework where it's connect, qualify, convert. Connect, I just got to get you to start the conversation. Once you start the conversation, now I'm going to qualify you, get all the information I need. If you're someone I can serve, then I'm going to try and convert you. So what that qualify section basically looks like is I want to know your current location. I want to know your pain of your current location. I want to know your familiarity with my area, because that's going to create a gap of where you're at and what you actually need help with. Because if there's no gap, I can't help. Right. But if there is a gap and you tell me, I don't know where to live, I'm so scared of everything looks the same. Now there's a gap and now I can insert myself in the gap and I can say, hey, cool, I can definitely help you with that. Do you want help? Cool. Let's talk.
Yep. Haley, clip that, by the way. Just Putting a little pin in that one. That'll be an Instagram clip right there.
So we current location, pain of current location, familiarity with the neighborhoods, dream of what they're looking for in their new home. Do you have a timeline and budget that you're hoping to stay within? Once they give you all of that information, now you can summarize everything that they just told you, which shows active listening. And then you say, hey, here's what we typically do next. And we hop on a call to make sure that we're only showing you homes in the areas that you want. And then you always end with, do you think that would be helpful?
Mm-hmm. This is so good because we have never hit this part of this framework yet. Like we have just talked about, like I said, getting emails, getting comments, getting followers. Eventually people reach out to you, but this is how you actually take it to the next step. This is a lot of manual work, by the way. So if
100%.
people think that you just post something and then 50 people, because you posted an open house video, are like, oh, I want to work with you. You're the best. Like your content's so good. Like hop on a call with me right now. No, it takes a ton of manual work. Right. This is why Alyssa Cornett has sold, 40 plus deals from hyperlocal content. She's not doing it by just posting amazing content. She's having these active conversations with people. So this is something like you probably spend more time doing the DM strategy and actually having these manual conversations than the actual posting. Right. And that's probably where all the juice is made.
That's where the opportunity is right now. When you look
Yeah.
at what's happening in the world right now, like people who follow me on Instagram, and they've, especially the ones that know my story, they've been following for the last 2 years, they believe everything, right? Like I don't have to convince them that my hooks work. I don't have to convince them that my strategy works. So literally all they do is just go follow everyone that is in my program because I post their wins on my account, and then they just copy everything they do. But
Mm-hmm.
basically what I guess what I'm really trying to get at is what it looks like to me, and maybe it's just the algorithm feeding me what I already consume, which is probably happening. But what I see most, like the majority of people doing, is just saying this person posted this reel with this hook and it says 5 things you don't know, or 5 neighborhoods you should know about. And so I took their caption, I put it into Chat or Claude, I said rewrite this for me, and it spits something out, and it has its 3-part framework that it talks in because it's just a robot. And now I just slap it out there and I say, this is my strategy.
Yep.
That's not the strategy at all. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what I mean by there's opportunity. There's opportunity to actually create the connection because most people aren't willing to spend, like, to give you an idea, I'm not anti AI for anything. I'm not anti AI for captions either. But what most people are doing with captions is just write me a caption for this hook. Here's the caption someone else used. Instead of what I did, I spent 3 hours literally telling it my entire story. So that way it could actually pull, remember we said specifics, it could pull specific moments from my story. I literally went into like what my childhood was like, where I lived, what I liked, what I didn't like. And then I got hit by a car, which I didn't. But the point is I got specific into each little detail. And so
You
that way,
told
when
it you got hit by a car?
I didn't lie about it.
Okay. Got it.
And then that way, when you do use AI, it actually is specific to you. And then once we get into the DM side, just like you said, most people are just going to use the, like the automatic follower message. And then it's not personalized. It just says, hey, Eric here. Are you here for content? It's like the easiest way to get someone to respond is to say their name. There's nothing more
Yeah.
beautiful to someone than their own name.
So every agent should be able to do this. Like, it's not like most agents who are watching this, or any agent, is getting thousands of followers per day or even hundreds, right? So if you get 10, except for like the amazing accounts, but if you're getting 5-10 followers per day, it takes 5-10 minutes a day to actually do that strategy. And like you said, 80% aren't going to respond, but if 20% do, you're already engaged conversation with them. You can start dropping them, put their name in your CRM, you start communicating with them, understanding more about what they do. The caption, so you said you tell Claude or ChatGPT everything, your entire story. What do you say after that? Like, do you say, save this to your memory for future creation, or like, is it a skill? What do you do with that?
I did mine
The
before
caption.
Claude was a real thing, and so,
Right.
or was all the rage. And so mine's just one chat, one chat
Okay.
conversation.
Got it. Okay. All right.
And
Well,
then,
that's simple. Everybody should tell their story. I have done this on Claude and
Right.
ChatGPT. Everything that the broke agent does, everything that BAM does, it just provides a ton more context. All right. This has all been amazing. Again, make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel. I want to do just one more segment quickly. Is there
Yeah.
anything you see agents doing right now on Instagram that is infuriating, or anything you see that a lot of agents are doing that they should stop doing? Like, what are the faux pas right now? What are the problems? I have a couple. If you
Can you
want me to
ask
lead
it?
off.
Ask it in a different way.
What am I, ChatGPT? Yeah. Okay. Is there something you see agents frequently posting that you know just does not get leads, and that agents are just doing because they think they should do this? Is it templates? Is it a specific type of listing video? Is it ChatGPT scripts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
A couple, many things. One
Okay.
of
Give
them
me
is
two.
I love this rise of yapping,
Yeah.
because talking on camera and getting attention, holding attention, and completing the whole cycle is incredibly hard. But yet, one
Hmm.
person has shown or communicated that I can do this, so everyone else can. And so now we
Hmm.
have this almost like parting of the waters. Since everyone's yapping, I can just keep doing what I'm doing and now look different. And it's actually
Hmm.
way easier and works better than trying to talk on camera, which is 10 times harder. Nobody ever wanted to do it before. Now,
Hmm.
yapping's the thing. I'm not even going to get into it. There's a whole
Yeah.
topic right there.
Okay. All right. So you're saying that a lot of agents are trying too hard for the yapping videos because that's the new popular thing that one
Yeah.
guru said, and now every other guru is saying you got to do yapping videos. Specifically, the style where you like pick up the phone and it looks like you're FaceTiming someone, and it's that casual conversation. I think
Yeah.
that content does work, but I agree it is hard. Like, I do it on the
Yeah.
Broke Agent. The easiest hack that I could tell you is put the topic that you're talking about right
Yeah.
over your head. Like, put that text-based hook, and obviously tell a story that's 40, 50 seconds. Instagram actually has doubled its watch time since last year, where the average watch time was 4 seconds. Now it's 8
Mhm.
seconds, which is just signaling that Instagram or people are staying on videos a little bit longer. So you can have slightly longer videos. Okay. So this has been illuminating, I would say, Jimmy. This is the exact conversation I wanted to have with you. When I've been watching your content for years, we've DM'd a couple times. So I was like, I got to have Jimmy Conover on and have like a full blown conversation, how to build out an Instagram from top to bottom, straight to lead gen. Jimmy, where can the people follow you on Instagram so you can see? Very helpful Instagram, by the way. If you got any value out of this, go follow his Instagram. What is it?
Yeah. So I have two accounts. I have a, agent facing account for coaching, and I have a buyer seller facing account for real estate. And the first one's going to be Jimmy Conover Official.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one's going to be Real Jimmy Conover.
Got it. Okay. And notice he didn't say Jimmy Conover Real Estate, because he doesn't want to have you to have that in the handle, because real estate agent handles no one
So
wants
it
to follow.
actually it comes from the olden days back in MySpace, where the
Yeah.
Real brand account would label themselves as official,
Yes, I remember
or
that.
as real, or as
Yeah,
hey. And
exactly.
so I adopted it and brought it over from the MySpace days, because then they didn't do it anymore. They just had just their name, but now it's official.
By the way, MySpace coming back. Did you see this?
I did. I'm a big 90s fan.
Okay, well, I know I saw it by your content. So maybe
Yeah.
there'll be a new strategy there where you could rank your clients, get it, rank your clients
I
SEO, or
know.
you could have your top
Right.
8 of clients, and then they could visit your profile and get a little jealous that you put one
Yeah.
client over the other, and then they want to talk to you a little bit more,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
I
All right.
like it.
That's an episode. Thank you for watching. Make sure you go follow Jimmy. Make sure you subscribe to the Broke Agent channel for videos like this every single week. And please make sure you like this video, subscribe, leave a comment on what you want us to talk about next, or what your favorite part about this is. I'm going to pick a comment, actually, Jimmy. This is going to be my little DM outreach strategy. If you comment right now, if you've watched until this final moment right now, you comment the word Jimmy, I will personally reach out to you on YouTube, and I'm going to pick one of you, do an Instagram audit, okay? Where you could hop on a Zoom with me, and I will just give you an audit. How about that? Does that sound good?
I love it.
All right, comment the word Jimmy, and we'll see you next week on the Broke Agent channel.